I need new music.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast.
It's an honor to talk with you, man, and I'm really excited to talk about the other side of Mars. Mick, I gotta say, you're kind of a late bloomer when it comes to solo releases for a musician, but at 72 going on 73, here you are. Now, most people your age are playing bingo at the senior center with their slacks pulled up way high. That's gotta feel pretty good, making a kick-ass record as opposed to the alternative, huh, Mick?
That's right. No time to waste, you know. You only live so long. You know? Why waste it playing bingo?
That's right. Yes, instead of bingo, instead we got this brand new record, The Other Side of Mars. And there's a lot to get into with this. And obviously with your storied career, it's no secret you got the chops behind it. This record really, though, has a stacked personnel. And we'll get to your producer, Michael, in just a bit. But first I want to dig in to Paul and Ray. Obviously, Paul Taylor, most known from Winger and other projects. Then you have Ray Luzier, drummer of Korn. And again, like I mentioned, your resume is there. But even at your caliber of talent, talk about how important it was to have guys like Paul and Ray and your crew to help challenge and also elevate this album to where you wanted it.
I wanted to, of course, you know, move out of the 80s, kind of reinvent myself. And I met Paul through Michael because I was looking for a co-writer. Paul and I write really well together. And then I was looking for like a drummer, you know, but not a drummer, you know, a drummer, you know what I mean? And so I was like, Ray Luzier entered the picture. I'm like, are you sure he'd play with me? You know, and they went, oh, yeah. And he was came in over, he was like all excited and stuff. So, you know, kind of raising the bar for myself. Yeah. To not, I need to move up to another me, like the other side of Mars. You know, it's like there's more there. Yeah. There's a lot more there in my music playing and my style and my writing and everything else, you know. And a total commitment to Motley when I'm with Motley, but, you know, retiring is like, I'm free, you know, to do whatever, you know. So I didn't want to write an 80s album.
Well, and it's interesting there because you talked about, you know, and again, it's a perfect title, The Other Side of Mars and that other side of you. Was there a moment where it was maybe pigeonholing yourself with the writing, with the playing, what you were coming up with? Was it hard to maybe break and find, not to be cheesy, that other side of Mars for this record?
Well, you know, it's like I write a bunch of stuff and I go back and listen. And if I feel that it isn't strong enough, erase it. I just take it out of the whole picture, you know. It's like, if it was a good idea, even for like 3 or 4 bars, I can keep that, you know, and then work from there. But, you know, there's a lot of cheese going on in that area, you know. So we got it down, you know. And Chris Collier, the mixer master, he also played bass on that album. And what an incredible talent that guy is. Yeah. Jeez, my face just kind of like went flat. You know, those guys are like really strong. I mean, Ray and Chris have known each other for a long, long time. Yeah. He's done, you know, Chris has done like Korn stuff and stuff. When he entered the picture, it was like, wow, you know, one of those eye openers, I guess, you know. Yeah. I already have, in recording my second record already, 4 really solid ideas. Not done, of course, but really solid. But they're a step up from that album.
I love it.
The other side. Yeah. So I'm trying to keep moving up, you know, but slowly, you know. Right. So I don't lose, you know, anybody. I don't know. It's kind of like your grandpa coming in and you're playing Led Zeppelin, okay? And he goes, "What damn is that?" You know, I don't want to be that guy. Right. You know right.
I think it's so cool, and I'm sure the guys hearing this, Ray and Chris and Paul and all that, hearing the praise from Mick Mars has probably got to tickle them because obviously you're such an influence on all aspects of the world, of music world, not just guitar players and people looking up to you and learning how to play through you and what you did with Motley and and everything beforehand. So I think that's such high praise, and I love that you share that, again, especially at the level that you're at, which that kind of leads me into my next thing, because I think there's probably a lot of young guitar players out there, even people who have played for a long time, musicians, that go, how does a guy like Mick Mars challenge himself, even at this time, who has played it all, has seen it all? How did you challenge yourself on this one?
I didn't want to stay in kindergarten. It was starting to graduate, you know what I mean? I don't know. Granted, I mean, like a lot of bands get stuck, you know, with the kind of thing that you record a great record, go out on tour, you come back, and the next album ain't so good because they have no time to really think about it. You know, they don't have time to reinvent. They got like a few months, and then they're out on tour again. Yeah, which to me is like sometimes the second album is better if they held back or whatever, you know. But mostly, you know, that one's the weak one, and then they come back with the third. That's, you know, they got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I get it. You know. So riding on the road and coming back, and you know, it's just the way that it works, I think. You know, but for me, being retired, you know, I can do everything and anything, and I, you know, reach to different levels. I'm trying to reach out and do something more out of the ordinary for me. Yeah. You know?
Actually, that's a great segue into my next one, because again, with this new album, The Other Side of Mars, you know, everyone's familiar with your work. You know, at this point, if you're not, you must have been living in a cave in the Amazonian jungle, and it just, I can't help you at this point. But for everyone else who is familiar with you, grew up listening to you, has enjoyed your playing, your music, is there, and from what you said, you know, trying new things and graduating up and pushing yourself, there's got to be stuff maybe on this record that would be a surprise to the listeners, or anything that'd be like, whoa, I did not expect that from Mick Mars.
Yeah, there's some. Memories would be one, you know, because it's just a piano thing. There's nothing else. I wrote it originally on guitar and had Paul transpose it, you know, to piano. And that's what I wanted, like a big band, let's say. I always say Queen, you know, where Freddie Mercury would walk out to his white grand piano and be just him and his piano.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of striving for or looking for on that particular record, on that song, I mean. I still have it, like with all the guitars on it and drums and bass and all that stuff. You know, I may release it as like, you know, an extra on the next record or something. I don't know, a bonus track. Like here's memories, but now it has like all this stuff. But yeah, I think that just a solo piano thing would be kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
I think Undone may have been too, because it's like a little departure from like the more melodic stuff.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I know everyone else is too. We've already got a little taste with the 3 singles that you've released from this one again, and I know people are excited to see this next chapter of the Mick Mars saga and where you're at musically, bringing it in at 72. For how many years you've been in the business? Now, speaking of that, been in the business for a while. One guy, your producer, Michael, whose resume basically is the who's who of the 80s, metal and hard rock, and someone you worked with in the very early days, I believe on Too Fast for Love. I got a feeling it wasn't an accident that you picked him, or he was picked for this solo project.
Not really. No, it wasn't really an accident, because I was sitting there, you know, recording my ideas and doing stuff and trying to record it and do this and get the tones and get this and miking and everything else. So I called Michael and I go, hey, you know anyone that wants to engineer this album for me? He goes, yeah, me. so yeah, he came over and we did it. You know, everything was in place, everything was right. You know what I mean? Like the microphones were set in the right place. This is it. I mean, there's a lot of detail that I could get into that Michael does.
Yeah.
I mean, the first Skid Row album he did, right? And I mean, like, listen to it. It's like a great album, you know? And it sold like, I don't know, 10 million copies.
Yeah.
That was like in the 80s days when, you know, it counted like that. But yeah, Michael's quite a person, man.
Well, we're excited to hear his touch on this, obviously bringing Mick Mars and the Other Side of Mars to life, and along with the rest of the guys in your crew, and obviously just you as well. I mean this wholeheartedly. It could be, Mick, it could just be you know, slapping your hand on a guitar for an entire album. I think people would probably enjoy it just because of the pure talent that's on there. Is that on the next album, you just slapping the guitar maybe?
No, but I could put it on there on either the grooves. They put the needle on leading to the first song.
There you go.
Or the end of the record. Where before it goes into the. You can't do it on CD. Yeah, you can do it on CD.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I'll take writing credit.
I'll do that just for you.
I'd say if you give me just for me, or give me writing credit for it, I'll be fine. I'll be fine with it.
All right.
I love it.
Okay.
Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Rock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.
I need new music.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast.
Mick, do you have a favorite track on the album?
Well, I like them all, but the direction I really want to go or take it is, Undone and Killing Breed. Mm-hmm. Is to take it more to that kind of a level slowly, you know what I mean? It's like I'll still have some heavy bangers on, that kind of stuff. But I slowly want to move into more orchestrated, I guess. That kind of a thing. Not too much, but just enough just to go like the guitars really jump. Like if you hear it on Undone and stuff, it really jumps. I don't know really how to say it. It's just in my brain. My brain won't speak to my mouth. I don't know.
Well, as long as it keeps speaking to your fingers, we're good to go. We'll hear it eventually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It likes to talk to my fingers, but not to me.
Well, it's gotten you pretty far, to the point where you're almost 73 putting out your own solo record, so I think we're doing all right there. What's really interesting to me, and I kind of want to go back to the early part of this conversation, and talking about, obviously with your experience and the thousands of hours in the studios, thousands of hours on the road, I mean, tours and albums and everything, and getting to this spot and writing for you, writing for Mick, and putting this album together, nerves-wise, I wouldn't assume Mick Mars would have nerves, but was there ever a point where maybe you're like, I don't know if I can do this solo thing, it's not coming out right? I might be wording that poorly, but does that make sense? Was there ever a time where maybe there was a little bit of doubt creeping into Mick Mars's head on this record?
Nope.
No. Well, all right.
I had every intention of doing this.
Yeah.
No matter if I was 80, I'm going to do it. And I'll continue to do that and reinvent and, up the level in my own musical way till I'm gone,
Yeah. Well, I love the confidence in that answer. I should have assumed, and a simple nope, and that's all we need from Mick Mars on that one. All right. So with that said, now that we have the stone cold answer on that one, I do want to take you back a little bit and correct me if I'm wrong, but the first band you were ever in is when you were 14 years old, and it was a Beatles cover band called the Jades. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
all right.
Correct.
So here's what I want to do. I want to paint a picture for you. I want you, Mick Mars, to go back to 14-year-old bassist in the Jades, and I want you to give him this record, The Other Side of Mars. What is 14-year-old Mick in the Jades going to think about this record that was made by 72-year-old Mick Mars?
He switched the guitar.
That's when he makes the switch, right there. I love it. Would it blow his mind, I'm guessing, a little bit?
No, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I absolutely would.
What was your favorite Beatles song to play? Do you remember which one you loved doing the most?
Oh God. Every one that I guess, like all of them, because like learning them and stuff is part of the fun, and then playing them for people is the other part. So I don't know, all of them were a lot of fun. I mean, I was already done with I don't know, all those. I went to see Hard Day's Night, and I learned songs from there watching George.
Wow.
And I would go home and play. There was one song that I can't remember the name of it. I give her all my love. That's all I do. That song. That was the one that I learned watching him from from the old things.
I love
anyway,
it.
I'm gonna lose you in a minute because I'm on my way to the dentist.
Oh, you're on your way to the dentist. Well, hey, before you get to the dentist, well, that's good. I got everything I need. I'm excited. The other side of Mars. Can we do a quick round of rapid fire before you go?
Sure.
Okay. This will take 30 seconds before I lose you. So let's go quick. Super simple to start. Mashed potatoes or baked potatoes?
Baked.
Fully loaded, I'm guessing. Disco or techno?
Neither.
There's no wrong answers. That I'll take it. Soaked jeans or damp socks?
Damp socks.
Would you rather see Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster?
Loch Ness.
Yeah? Nessie?
Yeah.
Last one. What would be more of a challenge? Fighting one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Ducks.
Yeah, the big one?
Yeah.
Maybe you could...
They're challenge. It's a challenge, right?
That's right. How about Canadian goose? Even worse. Awesome. Well, hey, Mick, thank you for humoring me. More importantly, thank you for taking the time. The other side of Mars, we really appreciate it, Mick Mars.
Okay, so great, man. Anytime.
Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Rock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.